Hey guys, welcome back. I'm FilthyRobot, joined by Solitaire, Galgaliel, Rikytan, and Xilo, continuing our D&D campaign. Just a quick reminder where we left off from. I think there's going to be a little bit more of that this session than there is normally because we left off in the middle of a conversation. But the gist of it is the party attempted to capture a wizard. The wizard ran the fuck away, got away. Meanwhile, the party kind of went back to the employer, told him what happened, and kind of ended up at the bar to finish the night off, and encountered another group of adventurers who had been in that same dungeon. Dice are really loud. There you go.
Sorry.
And met some people, had some conversations with them. Barros is upstairs sleeping. Nalla is being the wonderful, beautiful, 8-foot-tall barbarian face of the party. And she's rolling zeros and ones on her charisma skills. If we scroll just briefly through the list, I see a 0, I see a 0. I scroll up a little bit more, I see another 0. It's going well. So we're going to pick up where that left off and see how much fun we can have with this conversation. So, you guys want to take it away?
Right.
So basically what was happening was you guys were somewhat floundering through this conversation, trying to dodge as many obvious pitfalls as you could, but then putting your foot right back into it at other times. And the very last thing that had been spoken about was if you had given Halia any information, which had come from the cellars. Einar was perceptive enough to see Erifror's uncomfortable reaction and movements, and asked him directly. Erifror wittingly said you gave her what she wanted, or something like that, or you gave her something. And he asked again, what was it? And you guys kind of said you had some kind of confidentiality clause or something in your contract. And basically they just pressed you 3 or 4 times. What was it that you gave her? And that's where we're going to pick off, is exactly at that point when he asked that question to Erifror.
Good luck to you.
So Erifror, what was given to Halia?
You've had a week to think of an answer. I'm really excited to hear.
Says Sildar. Sildar really wants to know. Because Sildar was told by some government in rule to get her. Not her. The wizard that we were supposed to capture.
Not even a government. I'm pretty sure this is like a order of some sort.
Oh, I thought it was like a government type thing.
I don't think so.
That makes a big difference.
Order of Regis.
So that's not any kind of government or...
I mean, you guys don't know anything about Sildar, so, like...
See? So
Gotcha.
As far as we know, it's nothing to do with anything fucking official.
Gotcha.
But he did tell you that he had a legal permit to arrest him, so...
From his order.
Well, yeah. So, what did you give her?
You know what? How about we all go talk to Halia right now?
I'm okay with this.
And at this, Belisarius like crosses his arms across his chest and says to you, "And what is to convince us we're not just walking into a trap? Give us the information. You know it. Let's not make more trouble out of this than it's worth."
Well, the miners' exchange is just like, down the street.
I am aware where the miners' exchange is.
Look, there is no trap. We are friends here.
Sildar kind of like leans forward a little bit in his chair. and just like quickly rubs the side of his face. Claps his hands together. And says, look, you may mean well, you may not mean well. I cannot really tell at this point. I don't know you, and I don't know your motivations. I know that you worked. I'm still not quite sure exactly on the relationship for Halia. You seem to be averse to giving me information which I need. Which suggests one of two things. Either one, you're protecting her, or two, you're protecting yourselves. Neither of which is a particularly good excuse for not giving you the information, considering the circumstances.
Listen, we did a job for her. It didn't work out that well, and we're still looking for work. She is, right now, the most likely person to give us some work, so if we don't have to give the information, then that is good. But, listen, if you need to get this man from Halia, that is okay with us. So, as far as I'm concerned, we should not make any big deal of it, and you clearly need to talk to Halia. I don't see why we can't go with you and help facilitate anything.
I mean, we didn't even know of your existence like 10 minutes ago. I don't think we would have created a trap.
She says, Sildar says, and so therefore what is the problem with telling me what the information you gave her was?
Nalla looks over to Erifror.
Well, she came to us first. I think that's the fundamental thing. Yeah. And you say it's official, but we haven't seen anything official from you, like, to prove that it is official. So
what is official?
This whole arrest thing that you speak of.
He goes into the overcoat over the hauberk and the inside one of the inside pockets, and produces a scroll with the wax on it, but the wax has been broken, and it's a red wax seal, and you can see the stamp was in the shape of a crown, similar to the crown which is on his tabard. And he passes it to you, Erifror. It says that Sildar is a Grand Marshal of the Order Regis, particularly of the Order Regis Floral Chapter. It says that he has the authority to imprison the wizard Iarno Albrecht, also known as Glassstaff, and take him back to Vril to face justice. Signed by... Oh shit, what was her name? Hang on. 1 second. Signed by Yulia Hasael, Grand Provost Marshal of the Order Regis Vril.
And what does my character know about the Order Regis? Does he know if it's a...
Roll me a history check. You're not from Vril, are you?
Nope.
Where are you from?
You're
from the wilds, aren't you?
Kronstadt Highlands.
So the middle of nowhere.
Yep. History check, which would be just a D20.
You've heard of the Order Regis. They are a significant faction who are quite interested in maintaining the sort of status quo. They don't like upsetting things, and they're not a particularly like progressive faction. They're legal. They are very open about their presence and everything else. They are somewhat militarized, but they're not like a full private army or anything like that. But normally if one of their agents is sent to arrest somebody, it's quite serious, and like it's normally because of like cross boundaries.
Do I know where to get the authority to arrest people from? Like, you know, just because
normally it's an agreement with the city's governments that they operate in. Most major cities they have agreements with.
So this would be the city of Varul, right?
They've essentially been contracted, or what this is claiming, by the city of Varul.
But the city of Varul has no sway here in where we are, right? They're different.
Well, there isn't a government here, so...
This is not the city of Varul?
Yep.
Right.
But Varul has no... Does Varul have any... Essentially what I'm saying is, does Varul have jurisdiction here?
No, not really.
Yeah, okay.
They would believe they do. This is essentially a village, like, which is not in the broadly speaking area of any of the major cities. The closest major city is the city of Vadaspera, but that would also be a city that would have the Order Regis in it.
So technically no one has jurisdiction here, so there's basically anyone who wants to show up and claim jurisdiction kind of can, essentially, because no one's going to say, oh, no, that's not how it works.
It's not lawless, but I mean, you know, this was being controlled by a band of mercenaries, right, this time, so
might makes rules here.
There's the town master, but I don't think the town master is going to stand up to Vril, frankly. Like,
okay. Well, it seems like you have your official permit or official letter, but it's from Varul.
It's officially from somewhere else.
And we are not in a place which is under Varul's authority. So, you know, this is one of those legal gray areas things, I think. So, you know, I don't think we are in a position where we can assist without consulting Halia.
He looks like he's chewing on something, but he's not chewing on anything. So he looks like he's chewing on something. It says to you, do you not come from any of the major cities? I would have thought those in Parth Koldur would have had some of there's a presence of the Order Regis there.
From the Kronstadt Highlands, so
backwater.
Well, backwater, it's a bit, yeah.
Technically, we're given legal permit to arrest this man, and there's an agreement with all of the major cities that if one of our agents, we need to arrest someone, and that person goes into another city, our agents are allowed to go into that city. All of the Order Regis chapters work together in this regard. We have no problem doing this. This town, there's not a large enough population to have a constant Order Regis presence. Not that I wouldn't like it myself, but this is not a legal grey area. This man has come here. This is an independent zone, if you really want to be technical, but I still have the authority to arrest him.
You know, Erifror, this man seems honorable. I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't be cooperative with him.
Well, I turn to Eryn.
Yes.
What do you think?
Using responsibility much in this group?
Okay, so I also don't mind telling them, but the problem that I'm
You're saying this out
looking
loud
for
in
is-
character?
Are you saying this in character?
Oh, I'm talking to.
You're expositioning, right? In character,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, this is in a character to Erifror that I'm talking. That I don't mind giving the information, if like to give them what they want. But if they go for the glass guy, Talia will probably know who gave the information if she's like still there with him.
So I want.
So
just
she
a second.
can take
Are we
revenge on
saying?
us later.
Are we
That
talking
also not
in
clear.
character
Are you
right now?
Are you trying to whisper this
Yeah.
to Erifror?
Yes, I'm talking this to the
Okay, so
Erifror.
you're like
Are you
bending
no
over.
no no? Are you whispering it to him? Are you trying to be secretive about it?
Yes. Yeah,
In a room full of people?
In a tiny room.
I can be really
This could be
silent.
like a consultation with your lawyer, you know, just like a brief whisper in the ear. If that's, I don't know if that's what you're trying to do, Ricky.
He's gonna make you roll for deception or stealth. I don't know.
We
That's
can
fair.
do that, I don't mind.
He's gonna make you roll, man.
It's a legal gray area if you'd have to roll.
But you
it.
asked me for opinions,
Legal
so.
gray area.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm
you kind of
trying.
have to decide how you want to share your opinion in a way that is okay to talk openly, I feel.
Okay. I said.
Use the hand signals you set up ahead of time.
We just all need to play rogues and just all need to talk thieves camp the whole time.
All we need the message spell, message cantrip.
Okay, I will say out loud, okay, give it to them, Erifror. Tell them everything you know.
Okay. All right. In my head, I'm saying I'm upvoted. So okay. And I turn to Silda and I say, I start drawing out the black spider symbol that I saw. And what we know is that his glass staff was in contact with this organization, and I passed him that the symbol that I just drew out, and he was told to capture whoever was working with a dwarf, not me, I presume, but yeah. And to not let them upset the plan. What the plan was, we don't know.
He rubs his chin for a second. And Siller says, let me just be clear. What it said was dwarf singular.
Okay, this is me out of character. This is what I wrote.
Okay.
I'm wrong. So,
Bad time.
Galk.
This is next level evasion. Do your best to deception check that. I dare you.
What?
yeah, this is me generally out of character. I wrote it wrong.
Galg, you're
So I drew
your
the
Skype's
singular
dying.
dwarf. So, I mean, I think it's that connection. Can you hear me?
Kind of.
This isn't a deception, you're not lying.
Okay, I think we
It's
can
more
hear you now.
memory.
Okay,
That's
so
cool.
like what do you say in response to that? Like in character?
Maybe type it for now if you can, because your Skype's coming through so poorly. Nice.
Say, I think so. All right. And then
The ale is getting to my memory.
and he says to you, "Is that everything?" One.
I think it's good now, Gaug. I can hear you typing very well.
Okay,
That
that's good.
somebody could be working for a dwarf. Yeah. To capture them? Capture the
If you
people who are working for the dwarf?
If you can. If they could. If he could, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Don't allow them to upset the plan. Which is what But I have no idea what the plan is. And it was sealed with that black spider symbol that I just drew.
Are you trying to be deceptive because there's a very important piece of information you didn't tell him?
No, actually, this is actually what I wrote down. Do you want to jot my memory of what I missed out in case?
All right,
it reads?
I'll say it. Okay. So, see that any dwarven maps in their possession are delivered to me with haste. I'm counting on
right.
you, Arno.
Right.
Don't disappoint me.
Right. Oh yes, and any dwarven maps are to be delivered to them when they can. Without delay. Yes.
Says to you. And Belisarius turns towards Sildar at this point and says,
Sildar, does this mean anything to you? Who is this dwarf?
Sildar sits for a second. Says, well, an old friend I used to work for, I suspect, although why he would write dwarf singular, I don't know, so I'm suspecting this might be a different dwarf. I don't know, there's something strange about it. Was there anything else you found there?
Yeah, I mean, I found like gems, and
Not interested in whatever loot you managed to find there, although it's good to know what's important to you.
I mean, ale is important to me, so. Anything in
At this
particular
point,
that
Kutsarana, who's looking at Eryn, says, "Yes? You're wanting to say something?"
Oh, it wasn't meant in character like my movement.
I saw your reaction.
Yeah, but it was out of character reaction.
In character is cold as ice.
Yeah, I'm still like observing in character.
Anything else you want to say, Erifror?
I mean, we did find like random things in there, so if you could specify exactly what you think is important,
Alright.
then maybe you could tell you.
He's like visibly getting like frustrated at this point at your seeming
in character or out of
incompetency.
character? I missed it.
In character, he is.
Okay.
I'm not getting frustrated. I'm fine with this. And he says to you, "Listen, I clearly mean things of import. So when you went to his chambers or somewhere that was important down there, this was presumably where you found said correspondence letter, correct?"
Uh-huh.
Right. Did you find anything else there? Anything which might have been important, information-wise? I'm not interested if you found gems.
Well, I think we found a journal by someone
Whose journal?
named William Shieldheart.
At this point, Cinta's eyes turn over towards William, as well as Belisarius. His head turns towards William, and William just he's still sitting in the chair in the back, and he kind of says, "Oh no." And Sildar turns towards William and says, "Well, what was written in the journal?" And William says, "Everything that had happened up until the point we got captured, including our talks with you and Gundren." At this point, Seldar's flinch kind of clenches a little bit.
His hand
And,
or somewhere else, I'm not clear.
His fist. He turns back and says to you, Erifror, "And where's the journal now?"
I reach in and pass him the journal.
Okay, so he's gonna take the journal and flick it open a few pages and go to the latest entries. And there are a couple of pages which have been torn out, clearly torn out. But they're clearly, you can see on his face, there are a couple of pieces of information that he finds there that Sildar, reads and looks worried that Earno now knows, presumably, because of the journal. Including the relationships with the other characters, who they were. It has information on Cinta there as well. That they all basically come from Vrol, with the exception of not Alokian, not Barros. What was that? What was the monk's name?
Katla?
Filthy, what was your monk's?
I think it was Katla.
Katla. Yeah. Basically, William kept a very studious journal, and
Fucking paladins, man.
says, "All right."
Of
Eventually.
everything the previous party did.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm.
Including stuff before that William had done before as well, working for noble houses and things like that, and his decision to, become an adventurer.
You're saying he was much more verbose via writing than he was in person.
Yes.
It was something he was more comfortable with rather than an unknown party who he wasn't particularly open with.
Sure.
Sildar turns to William and says, "We'll talk about this, but there are more important things going on here." And he turns back towards the rest of you and says, "Well, you've been reasonably open with me so far. We got there eventually. Was it just the three of you?"
No, we have one other friend with us, except for some reason he just ran upstairs and apparently was very tired, so he's sleeping very peacefully right now upstairs.
I think he just can't drink today.
Belisarius is going to point to you, Eryn, and says,
You.
Where is your journal?
You're going to take me to him.
Right now?
he motions towards the door.
I mean, like, a nod with the head towards Nalla. It's like, I think we can go even now. What time is it? It's like, how dark is it like already?
It's not super dark. It's still fairly early evening.
Yeah, if you want that guy like as fast as possible, just we can go now. And I start walking out then if nobody stops me.
Yeah. Belisarius follows behind you and closes the door behind you. And like you can feel like very heavy footfalls behind you as you're like walking. It's kind of like unnerving because you don't really know this guy and he's walking behind you. And you lead him straight to the room? Where do you go?
So we just left the Stonehill Inn or only the room?
Just the room.
You just left the room with the Dragonborn. It's just you.
Should I clarify? Because Ricky thinks you're...
No, you don't need to clarify, but what I'm asking is, like,
just...
do you take him there or do you try to evade and go somewhere else?
Before that, I want to ask him, it's like, shouldn't go more of us? I don't know, it's like... Or do you feel like you are up to that alone?
As I said, do you want me to clarify? Because Ricky thinks he's being asked to bring you to the mage. And you're asking...
Not bring the mage to him, to where we know like his whereabouts at the moment.
No. He asked you to take it to Barros.
Oh, to Barros.
I like where this is going. What if I think that was an in character. He misunderstood in character, so I think it should go to the Miners Guild.
He like starts to walk out the door and he like puts his hand on your shoulder and says,
"He's not staying at the inn."
How do you feel about being touched, Eryn?
I'm not.
It's a very heavy, like it's not so much a hand as like a full fucking paw with claws like this on your shoulder, and it like really weighs
better
down.
or worse for you?
Can I try to dodge that? It's like so.
What, him putting his hand on your shoulder?
Yes.
Sure, make a dex save. If you want to make really quick movements around this guy, if you want to, sure.
Please give him advantage.
Okay, yeah, you dodge it, but like his hand immediately goes up towards his greatsword and like draws it.
Don't worry, I just don't like to be touched just out of nowhere.
Where are you going?
You wanted to see my friend, right?
Barros, yes.
Yes. Okay.
He doesn't know the name, but yes, your adventuring companion.
My companion. Okay, I will then go towards his room if I know where exactly it is.
Okay, so you turn away from the exit towards the exit of the Stonehill Inn and head towards like the stairs, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
He like puts he takes his hand off the greatsword. And goes with you up the stairs. Do you go just straight to Barros's room, or like where you know him to be? There's not many closed rooms here, actually.
I don't remember if I know the specific room where he is like in now.
Well, I mean, you guys bought rooms together, so like you'd know where it is. Sure,
okay.
Whatever.
So I will go and knock on the door.
Do I hear it?
You hear it knocking on the door?
I'm asleep. This has been some time. Do I hear it?
It's like loud knocking. It's like so hopefully enough loud to wake you up.
Roll me a perception check. What's your passive perception, actually?
12.
Okay, roll me a perception check. Oh, you don't hear anything. You just continue knocking until eventually you do hear something. You hear knocking on the door.
I yell, "What?"
Barros, it's me, Eryn. We need your attention, like right now.
Alright, I am concerned by this. I say, "Hold on." And I find my sword. And I don't have my shield, but I just kind of want to... Is there a peephole in this door or something similar? I say, "Are you alone?"
There's some people.
No, I'm not alone. I'm here with the You remember the adventures that were on the like stands, and like the big lizard one or the dragonborn one? Or, I don't know.
Did you say you're here with a big lizard?
You behind your ear, Eryn, you hear like a sort of crackling, sparking sound.
Making lots of friends.
It's a big dude.
If I was a Dragonborn, I would really get pissed off if anytime someone called me a lizard.
Isn't he a lizard though? Was he a dragonborn or a lizard? I don't remember the description.
Dragonborn's like half.
He's a dragonborn. He's just
dragon,
not. He's a lizard.
Yeah.
But like the appearance looks like a little bit lizardly.
All right. I come to the door. I'm dressed like I've been sleeping, so I'm like not wearing much with like fucking rapier basically, and I crack the door just a little bit, and I'm off to the side of it just a ways, and I say, "What?" I kind of like poke my head through.
Mm-hmm. This is like 8 foot tall dragonborn who currently has sparks in his mouth, like looking at Eryn, like visibly angry.
Like,
and Eryn, who's
I may like
none aware to it.
I'm Barros. What do you need?
You're going to come with me.
You best clarify what that means to you.
Well, your friends and I have been having a chat. We would like you to join us. Maybe you could fill in some of the details that they seem to fail to remember.
Oh, so you meant to say you're inviting me to come be part of a chat that you would like something from me. That's what you meant to say.
Put it in whatever words you like. Come with me.
I need a moment with Eryn, and we need that moment alone.
No.
Then no. I step back from the door. I open a little bit wider and I say, "You need to let my friend go, and I need to have a discussion with him. This looks really bad, and if you don't mean trouble, you need to clarify that now."
Very well. Eryn, back to the room we go.
He says to Eryn, "Back to the room we go," and like has a hand on him.
Yep.
What's your immediate reaction, Eryn?
I will follow that. Like that's
All
my
right.
reaction. That I will let him like lead me back to the room.
Backs away from the door.
Barros, you better come. It doesn't look as bad as it seems, but we need also your opinion on this.
All right. So you walk away. Belisarius does not stop looking at you, Barros, with his hand still on Eryn's shoulder.
So Aaron's walking away. So the guy's looking behind his shoulder as he walks away towards me. That's what you're saying? So I don't understand how
he's not walking towards you. He's not walking towards you. Like he's still looking at you, but he's walking with Eryn.
Yeah. So he's looking away. Okay, got it. So they're walking down the hall. He's looking over his shoulder at me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll take a moment. I'm pulling on my armor. Well, actually, I'm not. So, how long has it been since? So when was the last time I fucking cast this? I'm trying to figure out if I have mage armor on right now or not. Has it been 8 hours since my last casting of it, which was before we tried to cast the wizard?
Yeah.
It's been 8 hours, so it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have not had a sleep or any rest of any sort.
Like you've been up here about an hour and a half.
Okay. I am going to cast mage armor on myself. I'm going to equip my shield. I am going to clothe myself and attach my rapier and belt and all the rest of that shit. And I'm going to head downstairs.
All right.
So it would have taken a few minutes. I did not instantly run down. Okay. I'll head downstairs. Do I see any of them when I enter the main room?
No, you don't.
Okay. I'll approach the innkeeper. And I'll say, I'm looking for my friends. Have you seen them?
So what's been happening in the room in the last 3 minutes while Filthy's getting ready?
Probably closer to 5.
Okay.
They've basically been waiting for them to come back. If you're wanting to talk to them, you can do so, but they wouldn't have been talking to you guys at this point.
Nalla would have left.
They don't let you leave.
Okay. Can we... When the Dragonborn was gone, Nalla would have left.
Okay. At that point, Einar stands up. Like, presumably you just stand up to go and leave, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Einar says, I don't believe Sildar wants you to be leaving at this point. Is there a reason?
Oh, yes. Just a second. Oh, yes, my friend. I need to get more ale.
And I walk up to Nalla. I place my hand on him. I cast guidance. I say, well, could you get me 2 more cups as well?
Yes, sounds good. See, very reasonable. I'll be back very shortly. And then
Guidance is like, there's a visible effect to it. Like, everybody can see you just cast magic on him. Right?
I thought it was not very obvious.
I think
is it a glow?
Link it. Does it have a verbal or what's the
It's
other
got somatic components.
It doesn't say that it glows, you see. Yeah, there's a verbal component to it, yes.
Okay, well, the verbal magic components are essentially chanting. So
For 6 seconds.
Anytime you cast a spell with a verbal component or a semantic component, the verbal is going to be pretty obvious unless you try to disguise it in some way, and same with the hand waving. So you could, I guess there's probably ways you can try to disguise that, but if you just do it, yeah, exactly. But if you just do it, it's going to be pretty visible.
So don't bother, essentially.
Yeah,
or do, but be aware it's visible. Like, make your decision.
Nah, that's okay. Then I don't cast guidance.
So then Nalla gets up and leaves.
But I still ask for the ale, so... Yeah.
Okay, Einar goes with you.
Okay. Then Nalla goes up to the barkeep and orders 3 more beers.
Mm-hmm.
And then pays for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then goes back into the room.
So it's 1.5 gold pieces.
Sounds good.
And then goes back. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to do?
Nope. Unless, someone else.
Only what I want is when we get back to the room, I want to stand like as far as I can away from Belisarius.
Alright. You do so. It's like way in the back corner. Significantly farther away than you were before. Alright. Okay. So after a couple of minutes, Barros does come down and knocks on the door. Door is opened for him by Belisarius.
Good to see you've joined us.
I have some serious reservations about this, and I need some answers almost immediately, or I'm going to leave.
That's fine, we need some answers as well.
Alright, I'll step into the door, and I'll close it, but I won't sit down and I won't approach, and I'll very clearly look to each of my companions. And I'll
if you're standing by the door, you're like, that's where Belisarius essentially is. Like, you're very close to him at this point.
That's fine. I'm fine with that, but I'm not sitting down.
Okay, he's just like towering over you and looking like straight down at you.
Then I will pointedly ignore him and look around him to each of my companions, and I'll ask them in turn, is everything all right here? I'll ask them, won't be in turn, this will be just once. Is everything all right here? What's going on here?
Well, everything's fine. These people are trying to get the wizard that we were trying to talk to, and apparently they, someone from up north, this man here, and Nalla points out, Sildar, apparently is part of some government organization, something to get the wizard, and he's been asking us questions to help him do so. But everything's fine. The dragon guy is a little grumpy, but he seems like a strong guy, so I don't know. Maybe we fight some, but maybe later.
Maybe if your companions were slightly less racist.
Oh, don't mind them. They're just not all that smart in the head. It's
I
fine,
understand.
Dragon. It's fine, Dragon. Everything will be good.
It races towards me as well, but hey, you just get to lead it.
All right, so Nalla
Interesting choice of companions.
Nalla
They
gestured
pay,
to
they pay for my ale, so
What's that?
Nalla gestured towards Sildar when she said
Yep.
this. Okay.
Yep.
Then I'll turn to Sildar and say, perhaps you can clarify what's going on here. It looks a little bad walking in. Your man here approached my room with one of my companions, and when I asked to speak to my companion privately, refused and led him off under what looks a lot like duress. So perhaps you could clarify what's going on here.
Well, we've been asking you all questions about your interactions with the woman Halia Thornton. We understood that you were under contract to lead him, and he looks towards Nalla, in a friendly manner
Ask him
towards
very
Halia.
nicely. Yes.
I'm aware that things went somewhat south at that point, whether you actually got to asking him or not. And
I asked him many times, don't worry.
through one means or another, he eventually ended up there. And I'm also aware that you passed certain amounts of correspondence towards Halia Thornton, also regarding this man. I have a royal edict to arrest this man, so it is in my interest to know where he is and what he knows.
The first thing I need to do right now is ascertain the well-being of my party members, of my friends. I need a moment away from you to do that, so that it's clear we're not under duress, they're not under duress. If that occurs, and only if that occurs, I'm willing to sit down and have a conversation with you, and perhaps aid you, depending on the terms of our conversation. But that needs to happen right now, and needs to happen first.
Roll my persuasion check.
I really wish I had charisma.
It's alright. You'll splash sorcerer next time instead of wizard.
He says, not much of a fan of the tone in which you approach this conversation. You're not in much of a position to be bargaining for things. But with that said, he kind of like looks around the room. I'll give you your time in here. He stands up from the table and walks over to William and gives him a hand up as well. And Cinta also does this too. Says, "I'll give you 5 minutes. We won't be far." And then like Belisarius like opens the door. Einar stands up and like walks on his cane out. Kotarana also walks out, and the other three also walk out. And Belisarius, like constantly looking at Eryn at this point, turns around and closes the door behind him.
All right, I turn immediately. I turn immediately to the other party members and gesture them a little bit ways from the door, and I kind of in hushed tone say to them, "What the fuck is going on?"
I mean, just what I said. It's not. I suppose they're not being terribly friendly, yes, but
I cut Nalla off. And I say, "This looks to me, from an outside perspective, like they have you under guard in here. Like, you say it's not going terribly poorly, but the big guy wouldn't let Eryn talk to me. They have left us here instead of letting us leave. They are standing outside right now and are threatening to be back in a period of time and acting like we owe them something. What the fuck is going on? Are you all right?"
I mean, we could just leave then if you want.
Eryn, Erifror?
I would also prefer to leave, but I think that they will do something about it if we try.
What have you told them?
I think nearly everything we know, especially about the paper, and
Well, not everything. I tried to keep it to whatever I think they want to know. But in any case, I think we've gone in too deep to extract ourselves now.
Have they
Listen,
harmed anyone?
this...
Taken anything from anyone?
Well,
No,
they
of
took the
course
journal
not.
back.
Any direct
took the
threats?
journal.
No, of course not.
not directly.
Okay.
Listen, this lawman... yes, he seems like kind of an asshole, but nothing he said has been dishonorable. I don't think there's any reason why we can't be cooperative with him. But if you want, we can just leave. I don't mind either way.
I don't think we need trouble here if we can avoid it, but I'm not going to be walked over by some group with no legal authority here, just telling us what they want and expecting us to roll over without any compensation or without any pretense of civility. So we'll listen to what they say. If what they say isn't in our favor, we'll walk. If they give us trouble, we'll fight. Yeah?
Well, okay. Yes, I'm assuming we fight at some point. Do we expect them to kill us if we fight, or do we think we kill them?
Nalla, I love your thinking, but I always assume that we will do the killing as opposed to be getting the killing done to us. So let's work from that assumption.
Okay, cool. So then...
But last resort,
But
right?
we'll-
Last
well-
resort.
So then
And
we
if
be
our conversation
cooperative?
if our conversation has gotten louder during this solitaire, I want only as last resort to be the loudest part of that conversation. Okay?
Okay,
Alright.
so then there's no reason we can't be cooperative because he's a lawman, and why not? We don't really owe Halia anything. She's kind of an asshole also.
Right.
And if they push us around too much, then we just leave. And if they don't let us, then we kill them all.
Agreed. All right.
Well, they do outnumber us quite significantly. So
Well,
Oh, it would be a lot of
I
fun
start to say,
trying
put your
to
big
kill
boy
the
pants
dragon.
on, and then I realize who I'm talking to, and I cough a little bit, and I say, well, put your dwarf pants on, and we'll take care of this. And then,
this is what I mean by you being racist, but okay. And then, but before they do anything, I'm gonna put my I'm gonna cast guidance on Barros, and I'm gonna say, in case you need this, and I cast guidance.
could you link the spell Gal? I don't remember if it's also for ability checks or anything.
It's only for ability checks.
Only for ability checks. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will open the door, and I will walk out, and I'll look for Sildar, and I say, I think we're ready to talk.
Very well. They all come back into the room in essentially the same order. William does not, but the other five do. And they essentially resume their same positions that they had before. Soda says, I hope your time was productive.
It's nice to hear from my friends without someone standing right over them with weapons drawn or the near equivalent. So tell me what it is you need from us.
Well, you tried to, well, you didn't try to, well, you weren't successful certainly by any means, but you attempted to abduct this man for somebody you do not know the intentions of, correct?
No, we attempted to peaceably escort this man to meet Halia.
Yes. Not
And
one time was
we tried.
any hand laid on him.
Exactly. We tried multiple times to talk to him. We entered with weapons sheathed with the best of intentions and attempted multiple times to approach this man.
And well, and he ran from you, yes?
Yes.
And your reaction?
We attempted to, again, chase him and engage in negotiations, attempted to let him know that we meant him no harm, attempted to offer exchanges of services or something of the like to get him to I assume, the negotiating or bargaining table with Halia. Yes.
So you didn't attack him? There was no aggression there?
Nope.
He just
I
ran?
multiple times had the option of sticking a sword in him as he tried to run from me and chose not to because we were, again, attempting to talk with this man, not hurt him.
I can say with 100%.
So you roll me a persuasion check.
Okay.
I don't think Filthy saw
Yeah.
I know.
Eryn.
But
Okay.
he's rolling on behalf of him. Like, he was clearly using first-person subjects.
Okay.
But he's gonna make Eryn do a deception check, I think.
And
He's going to go around all of you because,
okay. Well, I guess
he was emphasizing I. He was saying I, right? So,
oh my god.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the guidance.
And then Sildar says to you, well, what about the rest of you?
Not a single time, I can say with certainty, did I even unsheath a weapon against this wizard.
Well, I
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm doing it at disadvantage, but that wasn't a lie, of course, so.
That's why it's persuasion.
Right.
I look at my legs and I say, can't run fast enough. Couldn't run fast enough.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Did I not get advantage for that? Come on.
And he can see that's your excuse. That's why you're trying to persuade him. You don't get advantage for that.
Yes!
Oh.
Finally, something above a 7 for our
So at
entire
least one
group.
person.
Nice.
He believes your
Eryn
legs
just
are short.
shakes
He
his head
accomplished
like,
it.
nope.
Roll me a deception check.
That was
You're fucked, dude.
I
What's
got
next
it.
character you're playing? Because this one's going to be in jail for a while.
he did better than you guys.
Oh shit, right?
Should have got the guidance.
Sildar. There's kind of like a look to his eye.
Yes.
He says, okay. And then let me just be clear about something. You went back to the Miners Guild, yes?
That's correct. He's talking
Did
to
you
me
see
or
the
talking
wizard
to someone
there?
else? Who's he talking to right now?
Just generally, he's talking to the group.
Okay.
Yes?
And you saw the wizard there, yes?
We did.
Yes.
How did he look?
Ugly.
That's not a lie.
I'm not talking about his appearance. I'm not talking
Sildar,
about
you're
his...
doing. I interrupt him. I said, Sildar, you're doing this wrong. You can treat this as though we are hostile witnesses and you're trying to pull every last detail out of us, and you can reap the repercussions of treating us like that. Or you can ask us what you can tell us what you're trying to accomplish, offer us something in our best interests, either be it friendship or be it something else, and then we can all walk out of here on the same page. So rather than try to give us the once-over, of which I'm rapidly tiring, please let me know what it is you're trying to get from us, what you're trying to find, and maybe I can help you with that.
Trying to ascertain Halia Thornton's motivations, so I'm asking you what his state of being was when you saw him in the Miners' Exchange.
I'll offer you this portion for free, and then we will discuss anything else you want informationally from us. And that is, she seemed to be, when she approached us, she seemed to want to talk to this man very much. Her preference, she said to us, was peaceably, but anything else was okay as well. We attempted it peaceably and were unable to get this man to meet there. When we left the wizard seemed to be in her captivity.
What do you mean in captivity? Was he in a cage?
He was bound and gagged.
Huh. So clearly... Einar turns towards Sildar and says, Sildar, I don't really see what the problem is here. She's across in the miners' exchange. Why don't we just go and get her?
Yes, I agree with this. If the man that you're after is right there, let's just go get him.
It seems like the right time, so we can take a break there, guys.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying it. It's getting interesting. We'll see you soon. See you in the next part.